So today I'm going to continue my series of what pet professionals want you to know. I spoke to the manager of a boutique, a dog boutique slash daycare slash boarding facility. I also spoke to a groomer and I spoke to another dog trainer, and I'm going to share with you what they want you to know about your dog or dogs in general. Now, before we get started, I'm drinking a Bordeaux. Now, let's get into it. So first I spoke to Jonathan. So Jonathan is my dog's groomer, my dog's beloved groomer. She adores him. And here's what Jonathan wants you to know about dogs. Number one, it is so important to choose the breed that is most appropriate for your personality and lifestyle. And just going to the grooming aspect of this, if you're getting a dog that's going to need regular grooming, you need to understand the financial commitment and the time commitment associated with that. If you're getting a dog that's high energy, like say a Weimaraner, don't think that dog's going to be a potato. That dog is not going to be a potato. That dog is going to need a certain amount of exercise to get their energy out, or you're going to have, a dog that is bouncing off the walls. If you want an Aussie, you need to know that is a dog that was bred for a purpose. That's a herding breed, and they are going to be suspicious by nature, and understanding that breed and making sure that fits with your lifestyle is going to be, again, incredibly important. So know the breed that you're wanting, know the breed that you already have, and that is going to set you up for success to make sure that that's a good fit and to know how to navigate that. Second thing Jonathan wants you to know is the importance of structure and consistency in your dog's life. Really, really important. This helps them feel safe. Having structure, consistency, routine, all of those things are really what makes your dog feel safe, and leadership. As a dog trainer, I have to say that because it's true. But understanding that is important, because if you're taking your dog to the groomer, that is not the day to skip their morning walk. That's going to throw them off, and that's going to set them up for failure at the groomer and set the groomer up for failure. And so it's really, really important that you have a certain level of structure and consistency and routine in your dog's life to, again, help them feel safe, and don't skip those when you're doing something specific with your dog, because it's important to keep that going. So again, if it's your dog's first day at daycare, even though they're going to get exercise at daycare, taking them for their normal morning walk that day is going to be important. The other thing Jonathan wants you to know is how important choosing the right pet professional and or location is for your dog's personality. So if you have a dog that's easily overwhelmed, taking that dog to a daycare that has lots and lots and lots and lots of dogs may be too much for your dog. Taking that dog, the easily overwhelmed dog, to a pet store for their grooming, that may be too much for them because there's a lot going on there. You're probably going to be a lot better choosing a smaller daycare or choosing a groomer that's what they do. They are a groomer and that's all they do, because they're going to stack the appointments in a way that's going to be a lot more appropriate for your dog so they don't get overwhelmed. And, as a dog trainer, I just saw a beagle the other day, sweetest temperament ever, but this dog is really sensitive. And I told the people, had they gone a training route that was punishment based, and again, even if it didn't hurt the dog, even if it was just mildly annoying, just the fact of focusing on the negative and the punishment of the dog would have been absolutely detrimental to this specific dog's emotional well-being. So knowing your dog's personality and choosing the right pet professional for your specific dog is incredibly important. Now, I also spoke to McKayla, and she is the manager of the dog boutique I was telling you about. And here's what McKayla wants you to know about dogs. Dogs, like humans, have good days and bad days. So just because your dog has a rough day at, they do something wrong that day, they have a rough walk that day, they get a bad report card at daycare, or, something like that, that doesn't necessarily mean this is who your dog is now. That is just, it's okay to treat things as a one-off, as a bad day, and just see if that behavior or the situation persists. And if it does, certainly address it. But understanding dogs have good days and bad days, and not focusing so much or worrying so much on the bad days is really important. Again, just like us, good days and bad days, we have them too. The other thing that McKayla wants you to know is animals are opportunistic and not manipulative or deceitful, because we hear, pet professionals, we hear this all the time. We, again, overly humanizing, projecting, personifying, We do these things to dogs all the time, and we put human emotions such as, jealousy and manipulative and all those things. And that is unfair to them. They are animals. They are just dogs. And I when I say just dogs, I kind of cringe because I obviously don't mean just dogs. They're magic. They're spiritual, these amazing spiritual beings, probably better than us. Hashtag we don't deserve dogs. But anyway, we really do need to understand that they are not trying to be manipulative and deceitful. They are just being opportunistic. And again, maybe following their nose and going and getting something off the counter, or seeing something that looks super fun and they destroy it, but they had no idea it wasn't really a toy for them. It was on the floor and they didn't understand that. So just understanding the opportunistic aspect of dogs, I think, is truly incredibly important. The third thing that McKayla wants you to know is how important enrichment is for dogs. I don't know how many times I've said it, a super lot. But here's the thing. Dogs have a certain amount of physical energy and mental energy. And if you're not exercising both, you're gonna have a dog that is not getting their needs met and might do behaviors that are not ideal. And I think it's so important that we exercise them appropriately and that we are also giving them ways to exercise their mind. Training, treat toys, interactive puzzles, so many different things that you can do to exercise a dog's mind. So those are the 3 things that McKayla wants you to know about dogs. Now, I also spoke to Chrissy, who is also a dog trainer like me, and the 3 things she said are so great, so dog trainery stuff, so it's good stuff. Number 1, puppies are hard. Puppies are hard. Puppies are hard. I don't know if you heard me, but I said puppies are hard. My puppy clients are having meltdowns left and right. That's the truth. And I have a video on puppy blues, because that's a real thing. Please feel free to, I'm going to link it. So you might want to watch that if you have a puppy and you're struggling. But they're harder than we remember them being. They're harder than we think they're going to be. And no amount of research or thought or preparation can truly get you ready for what basically having a 2-year-old child on 10 pots of coffee is going to be like in your home. Because that's what it's like. It's like a toddler on caffeine, just through the roof. And so they're very rewarding. I don't want to say they're not. I adore puppies. Thank goodness I do what I do for a living. But they're hard. They're hard. Know that they're hard as you're going into this. So you have managed expectations and you're as prepared as you possibly can be. So the other thing that Chrissy wants you to know is how much the science of dog training and the science of dogs has come in the last 20 plus years. And the evolution is amazing. So sometimes when I hear like old school advice and, things like that, it's just people who have not caught up with the science. And why would you if you're a layperson, truly? If you're a pet professional, you should be keeping up with the science. And if you're not, shame on you. But if you are just a layperson, why would you know how much the science of training and the science of dogs has evolved? But here's what I want you to know. It has. We know so much more about dogs, and we know so much more about the best ways to train a dog now than we ever have. So understanding that it has evolved by leaps and bounds is so important. Now, the third thing that Chrissy wants you to know, and this advice is one of my favorite things ever because I did it, is foster a dog before you adopt a dog or get any dog. Foster a dog, or I would add, get a dog that is in foster care. And the reason that's important is if it's in a foster home or it's in your home for a while before you commit, you can know so much about the dog and see if it really is a good fit for you, your family, your personality, your lifestyle, the environment, and all those things. And that is going to set you up for success with this dog. I mean, you're making such a commitment by bringing in this beautiful little life into your home. It needs to fit. It needs to be a good fit for this to be, for you to have a good quality of life and for the dog to have a good quality of life. Because if it's the wrong dog for you, this is not going to be an easy several years for you. That's the truth. So if you're able to foster a dog or get a dog that is in foster, that is going to set you up for success so much. That's what I did with my current dog, and I'm going to link that video for you as well of how to get the perfect dog. And I know the logic. I mean, listen, if you want to just run down to the shelter and you fall in love with a dog and you adopt a dog, like, I mean, truly, God bless you. That's amazing. I just think setting yourself up for success by knowing as much about the dog as possible is really important. That also goes for puppies. I know you did all this research, you chose a breeder. Your logic is, if I raise a puppy, you know, from a young age, then the dog is going to fit with our lifestyle. That's not always true. I'm sorry. I know you think it's going to be, but it's not. It really, you don't know how this puppy's going to evolve and change and who it's going to become. And again, I'm not telling you not to do these things. It can work out so beautifully and often does. But if you really want to set yourself up for success, the foster thing is a really, really, really beautiful piece of advice. So I hope these tips helped you, and I so thank McKayla, Jonathan, and Chrissy for participating in this video and sharing their knowledge and advice with you. I will see you guys next time, and happy training, happy drinking, and please like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss my next video. Thank you. I'll still give a little wiggle.